Welcome, guys. It's yours truly, Daniel Buyaba, and I'm starting my first ever podcast, the Room for Sports podcast. This is going to be a weekly podcast covering basketball, covering football, covering soccer, and we're going to talk a lot. The NBA playoffs are just starting. Champions League in soccer is just starting, and the NFL draft is coming up pretty soon. So there's a lot to talk about. We also have the WNBA draft that's happening today in a few minutes, so I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. But first on, let me introduce myself. No little background about me. Well, I've been playing basketball since the fourth grade. Since the fourth grade, been playing all the way up to high school. 2 years varsity, 2 years JV. You know how it is, the normal. Um, I always love basketball, always love sports. I talk about sports all the time with the guys, always arguing, debating with them. Sometimes arguments get heated, sometimes they're agreeing with you. So it's the life. That's life with sports. Um, this podcast was long overdue. I've been wanting to start a podcast, but I just never had the time. I just never had the time to do it. But I finally got the courage from all my people to start it. So I'm here starting it. So, should we get right into it? So, the is the NBA season. The NBA season has really come to an end yesterday, and the seedings has been placed. The seeding has been finalized, and we got with the playing on the East side. We have the seventh seed Philadelphia Sixers and the eighth seed Miami Heat. Then the ninth seed, I believe, is the Chicago Bulls, and the 10th seed Atlanta Hawks. The playing tournament. How do you guys honestly feel about the playing tournament? Honestly, I feel like the playing. I didn't honestly. I didn't really like the playing when they all announced it. I felt like it was just better 1 through 8. I don't understand why we're giving the 9 and 10 seed extra chances to get in the play-in, the playoffs. Let me correct myself. Why are we giving them chances to get in the playoffs? As you can see, as like Atlanta Hawks got 36 wins as a 10th seed. Why do they have an opportunity to win 2 games just to get in the playoffs? Just to lose to the first seed, Boston Celtics, who got 64 wins. Honestly, it doesn't make no sense to me. I don't even understand it, honestly, especially for the East side. The West side, okay, you can get a little pass. Well, we got this West side, we have the Pelicans. The New Orleans Pelicans have what's their record? New Orleans Pelicans. Let me figure that out real quick. New Orleans Pelicans got 49 wins. They're tied with the Phoenix Suns with 49 wins. But Phoenix Suns, of course, got the tiebreaker, as you know, what Devin Booker has been doing to them Pelicans. Eighth seed is the Los Angeles Lakers with 47 wins. Then the ninth seed, the two play-ins that are pointless. Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors that they both have 46 wins. Like honestly, like why do they even need it? Why do the Kings and the Warriors need to get in the play-in? Like I don't understand that point. Even though I'm a big Warriors fan, as you guys probably know that I'm a big Curry fan. So, but I honestly don't feel like the play-in is really important. Well, I wouldn't say important, but really needed for real, honestly, especially in the East with the Sacramento, not Sacramento, the Miami Heat got 46 wins as an eighth seed, and the Sixers got 47 wins. I feel like those should be the seven. I feel like those should be the 7 and 8 seed. The Bulls are 500, and Atlanta Hawks are 10 games under, like 10 games back from the 7th seed. So there's no point in that, honestly. But Life isn't fair. I can't complain too much. Just got to sit back and watch the games because that's what I'm probably gonna do. So we got tomorrow the Los Angeles Lakers at the New Orleans Pelicans. That's the first game. Then we got the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. This is the second game. Lakers just killed the Pelicans the other day, and now they're playing them again. I already know how that's gonna go. And the Warriors and Kings, they kind of got history. You saw what Curry did to them in Game 7, dropped 50 on them boys and sent them home as a 6 seed. It's crazy how they were a third and 6 seed. Now they're playing as a 9 and 10 seed. That's pretty crazy to me. But things happen. Injuries happen, suspensions happen. Draymond. But life goes on. Fight for another day. And then on Wednesday, the Heat and Sixers play first, and then the Atlanta Hawks and the Bulls play first. Crazy, the Heat. I think the Heat just love the play-ins, I guess. Like they end up playing every year or something. Same as the Lakers. They end up playing every year. Heat made it to the finals they were a 7 seed at first. They lost their first playing game. Then they won their next 2 playing game. I can't remember who they beat. I know I can't remember who they beat. But they made it to the NBA finals as an 8th seed. So I know why people talk about the playing this, playing that. 2 playing teams made it to the conference finals as the Lakers made it to the conference finals last year. But the Sixers, I'm very excited about the Sixers. Joel Embiid came back. Since he came back, they haven't lost a game yet. But it's crazy though. They haven't lost a game yet, and they still end up playing. That's how crazy the NBA has been. Atlanta Hawks. Let's talk about the Bulls first. The Bulls as a 9th seed. Zach LaVine's been out since God knows when. He's been out for a minute. My boy Lonzo Ball. Y'all know I'm a big the Ball brothers fans. Lonzo Ball hasn't played basketball in about 2 years now. And it's crazy because last time he was playing, the Chicago Bulls were a 1st seed at the time. And they dropped down that year, I believe, to a 6th seed. And the Bulls haven't been the same again. Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young's been dealing with injury. Trae Young recently just came back. I'm not too sure about who else has been playing for the Atlanta Hawks. I really haven't been paying attention to them, honestly, because they're 10 games below the 7th seed. So why should we talk about them? There's no point of talking about them. Honestly, I hope the Bulls beat them, but we'll see. Let's talk about the standings, though. Honestly, let's talk about the East first. We got the Boston Celtics 64 wins, 37-4 at the crib. That's amazing. 64 wins, 64 and 18. Drew Holiday pickup was huge. That Drew Holiday pickup was huge for the Boston Celtics, bro. And the Porzingis, like that's a scary starting 5. You got Drew Holiday at the 1, Jaylen Brown at the 2, Jason Tatum at the 3. Yeah, Jason Tatum. Wait, no, I'm missing somebody. Oh no, Derek White is at the 2, Jaylen Brown is at the 3, Tatum's at the 4, and Porzingis is at the 5. Yep, and Al Horford's their 6th man. Hey, they claim they got the best starting 5 in basketball. I think they do, honestly. 64 wins, that's major. But can they finally win the ship? Because they did make it to the finals about 2 years ago versus the Warriors. But can Jason Tatum finally get his ship? Jason Tatum's been blessed in the NBA, though. He got drafted to a playoff team. First year, he went to the conference finals versus Bron. Lost in 7. Bron run the East. Second year, he was what Kyrie finally played with them. They lost second round. What was that 2019? 2020 was Jaylen Brown was injured towards the end of the season. No, 2020. I'm tripping. 2020 was COVID year. 2020 was COVID year. So they made it to the conference finals versus the Heat that year. I can't remember what seed they were. They should have made it to the finals that year. The Heat won the East that year. Okay. 2021, Jaylen Brown was injured, and they was a 7 seed, lost to Brooklyn Nets. It was just Jason Tatum. I don't think Jaylen Brown played that series. Who else? 2022, the year they made it to the finals. I don't know if they're a 1st seed or a 2nd seed, but they made it to the finals that year. stole game one from the Warriors. I thought that was a turn. I thought that was something. Actually, I didn't think that was nothing. I know that was nothing. There wasn't Warriors wasn't losing to them. I don't know why I'm gassing in front of y'all, but the Warriors wasn't losing to them. 2023 when they were down 3-0 versus the Heat, and they thought they could just make the greatest comeback of history and come back from down 3-0. Well, they pulled off game seven. They made all the way to game seven. And then Jason Tatum got injured the first play, and that game wasn't the same since. But what's the deal with the Celtics, man? Are the Celtics finally going to get over that hump and get a title? It's honestly, it's a title or a bust season. Honestly, conference finals, that's a failure if they just make it to the conference finals. Going to the finals, ah, man, I guess y'all could say that's a going to the finals is success. But if they don't get the ring, it's no points. You win 64 wins. Like once you get 60 wins, you're guaranteed you're supposed to win a championship. I don't care. No excuses. You should win a championship. No excuses. But you know how it goes. Who's the second seed? Second seed, the New York Knicks. Jeez, the New York Knicks. They, if Julius Randle wasn't hurt, guarantee it. I wouldn't guarantee it, but they would have been my pick to the finals, honestly. Because Jalen Brunson been hooping this year. Jalen Brunson been hooping as the number one, So if they had a solid number two as Julius Randle, I probably had him in the finals versus the I'm not gonna say who I have versed in the West because we will talk about the West when we get to the West. Even though I'm not even doing the predictions this episode. We're just strictly talking about the standings and strictly talking about the playing. The predictions will be in another video later on this week. But the Knicks been balling. Knicks been balling since they picked up OG. OG's been a key piece for them, even though he missed a couple games. But when he played, I believe they only lost about like 3 or 4 games since he's been in the lineup. So the Knicks are going to be a key team to look at in the playoffs. Number 3, the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks only 49 wins with Dame and Giannis. 49. That's crazy. That's crazy because if the Bucks were in the West with 49 wins, they'll be in the play-in or tied for 6. I could just show you how dominant the West is compared to the East, honestly. Well, they fired their coach mid-season, Adrian Griffin. Questionable decision. He was like 30-13. 30-13, they hired Doc Rivers. Honestly, I don't know why Doc Rivers wanted to accept the job. I know that paper was good for sure. That money, it was great. But he hasn't done a thing. He hasn't done a thing with the Bucks. How you go from 30 wins to get hired around February, because I know it was around the All-Star break, and you only end with 49 wins. Like you only won 19 games since the mid-February to April with Giannis and Dame. Like what? Remember, they lost 3 games in a row. They lost to the Raptors, Grizzlies, and Wizards at a point. All teams that are like what 60 L's around the 60 L's area, like lottery teams. Like, come on, with Dame and Giannis, I don't care, bro. I don't care if they were hurt or nothing. Like, they should have at least 50 wins. They're a 3rd seed, and honestly, no hating, no hating. I think the Bucks were really ducking the Sixers. Honestly, think about it. Giannis just got hurt with the calf injury. And, calf injuries, you never know about the calf injuries. So Giannis is probably going to miss. I'll say he's missing game 1 for sure versus the Pacers, which we'll talk about the Pacers later on. I think that so he's missing game 1, I think. So if he was playing Philly, they would have had Embiid on the other side. Embiid's back healthy. Well, I don't know if he's 100% healthy, but he's back doing his thing. Haven't lost the game yet. So they could have been ducking. They could have been ducking the Sixers. And in all honesty, they could have been ducking the Sixers. They don't want to play against Embiid, the MVP of the league, without Giannis. So they saw, okay, let's lose 2 in a row. Let's lose to the Magic. Dame being a no-show, not doing anything. Let's lose to that so we don't lose the first round versus the Sixers. which in my opinion, I would have had Sixers beating the Bucks. Honestly, that the Sixers team is not a 7 seed. I don't care. No one said they're not a 7 seed. Embiid missed almost all the season. He only played about like 35 games, 35 to 45 games. And I heard, like, I saw a stat like they only lost 8 games with him in the lineup. So, like, what is that? Realistically, that could have been an easily top 4 seed. So, hey, the Bucks knew what they were doing. They were ducking. So they lost a couple games in a row and let the Knicks get the 2nd seed. But the Knicks, Coach Tibbs ain't scared of nothing. He gonna play the Sixers. He ain't scared of nothing. Or he gonna play the Heat. He ain't scared of nothing. But them boys in the Bucks, man. I don't want to make too assumptions, but let's go to the 4th seed, Cleveland Cavaliers. 48 wins. In my opinion, a down year, but 48 is, I mean, for a top 4 seed, which 48 will be all right. All right. 48 wins will be all right. They're a 4th seed last year, I believe, or 5th seed. I know they played the Knicks. They're a 4th seed last year. Got upset it in my eyes. I feel like they're a better team. But I don't know, man. I question the Cavs a lot, honestly. Darius Garland hasn't been playing how I expected him to play. I thought he'll be a 20 and 8 type of guy. I don't even think he's averaging. What is he averaging? Darius Garland's only averaging 18 and 6.5. In my eyes, he's a 20 point per game scorer and at least 8 assists as a point guard. As a point guard in the NBA, you should be having at least 8 assists as a starter and as an all star. I believe he was an all star at one point of his career, right? Has Darius Garland been all star? Hold on, let me check. No, man, I don't got all the stats with me, man. I know a lot of things, but yeah, he made the All Star game in Cleveland. He made an All Star game when it was in Cleveland. So yeah, as an All Star, you should be averaging 20 and 10. I mean, yeah, honestly, if you're an All Star, you should be averaging 20 and 10, but 20 and 8 is okay. But averaging 18 and 16 points and 6.5 assists, that ain't it. That ain't it, my guy. That ain't it. Honestly, I don't think him and Mitchell fit because I think in my eyes Mitchell's a ball dominant player. He always needs the ball in his hands, and he's averaging about 6 assists, right up there with Garland. So it's like, are they matching? Do they fit well? And like, I don't think Mobley and Allen fit well either as well. They both Mobley? How is Mobley 6'11", not even averaging 10 rebounds? Like, come on, bro. Jared Allen, Allen, 17 and 11. Like, come on, bro. I don't feel like they fit together because one, they both can't shoot, so they're just clogging up the paint. And Donovan Mitchell's Donovan Mitchell's he likes to drive the ball, so like the paint is just clogged up with all 3 of them in there, and they don't have a shooter as their 3 guard. Their 3 guard is, well, unless Matt Strus is their 3 guard. I thought Isaac Okoro was starting, but oh yeah, see, Matt Strus was a 3 guard. Okay, Matt Strus can shoot, but it still is like you only have one shooter in the game with 4 other players that only score at the rim. Like, that team doesn't fit. I don't think that team will be staying together for at least 2 more years. I feel like they're gonna have to pick between Garland and Mitchell, and they're gonna have to pick between Allen and Mobley, in my opinion. And they got FC made Imani Bates on that squad. I feel like Imani should get minutes. Imani is the shooter that they need to be having on the court. All they need from Imani is to stay on the 3-point line, stay on the wings and the corners, and spot up shooting. That's all they need for Imani to do. I wish they were playing him more. But his time is coming. We all know that. The whole Ipsy is behind them. But yep. 5th seed, the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. That's a tough squad. That's a tough squad right there. That's a tough squad right there. Orlando Magic, 47 wins. Their coach is probably in the coach of the year candidates. He should be a top 3 candidate. I feel like really improvement. And I heard he got an extension this year. So congrats to Coach Mosley about that. And shout out to Paolo. Paulo Banchero, second year player, second year All Star, carrying his team to the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs since what, 2019, 2020? One of those 2 years. I think, yeah, 2019, 2020, one of those 2 years. He hasn't carried the playoff. They haven't made the playoffs since then. So for him to carry them with the good pieces around them with Franz Wagner, the Wagner brothers, you could add those two. Jalen Slugs, who's on their squad? Who's on their squad? Gary Harris, Anthony. Like, I'm not really too familiar with this squad for real. I don't, they're a young team. Oh, Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, yeah, and Markel Fultz. So that's a solid fifth place team, and they really improved, and I'm excited to see them in the playoffs. Sixth seed, the Indiana Pacers. Ooh, this Indiana team, bro. This Indiana team that took Giannis game ball. I'm gonna have to see him in the playoffs. I can't wait for that series. And the time they took his ball, they didn't have Siakam. They got Siakam now. And if Giannis isn't playing game one, she don't be surprised if the Pacers still game one. They got my boy Tyrese Halliburton. That should have been the Piston. No, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. He should have been a Piston. They got Ben Mathurin, but he's injured, I heard. They got Pascal Siakam. They got hold on. They got Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Naismith, Miles Turner. That's a good little squad. Obi Toppin. That's a good little squad for six seed. I feel like they could steal a couple games, but they don't play a lick of defense. Just like the Bucks don't play a lick of defense, the Pacers don't play a lick of defense. The Pacers just want to score. They want to score in the 120s every game. So I know that series is going to be no defense being played, but I can't wait to see that series as well. Okay, that's the East side. I'm not making any playoffs predictions. I'm just doing the play-in predictions later on in this video. But the playoff predictions will come probably we probably not this video. This video is being posted tomorrow. The playoff prediction will probably be posted Friday, but the playing games are on Friday too, and I know the games are on Saturday. I'm gonna try to get the second video up on Friday. I'm gonna try to get that one Friday. We're just gonna have to make two predictions with this AC playing and the NBA playoffs predictions all in once. Just the first round. I'm not doing the whole tournament. I'm doing by round by round. I'm not doing all that. Y'all gonna hate me if I do that because y'all gonna hate me for sure, for sure. So let's go to the West side. You know, the West side, the best side, the Wild Wild West. All right, with the West side, we got the number one overall seed, Oklahoma City Thunder, bro. Oklahoma City Thunder is a surprising team. Last year they were a 10 seed, won one play-in game, lost the second one. So they had an opportunity at the eighth spot. Need a one more win, they didn't get it. They got my boy Shea Gildas Alexander. Y'all know how I feel about Shea Gildas Alexander. You know, he's a Cal guy, John Calipari's type of player. You know, John Calipari gets all the guards to the league. You know, 57 wins. Hey, they got a Coach of the Year candidate and Coach Mark. They got an MVP candidate in Shea Gildas, and they have a Rookie of the Year candidate in Sheck Holmgren. I don't know if Jalen Williams is going to be in the most improved. He's only a second year player, so I don't know if they will include him, but he's had a huge year as well. But I like that young squad, man. That young squad, bro, and that's good for the Oklahoma fans, bro. They're gonna that playoffs home court arena. That's gonna be a great environment for them, man. The fans are gonna be excited. You know how the fans get back in the days when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook was there. Those fans were lit, and they ain't never been so excited for the playoffs since this. Second seed, The Denver Nuggets. Second seed Denver Nuggets. Honestly, I think they were ducking as well. I think they were ducking the first seed as well. Up 23 points versus the Spurs in the third quarter, and you lose that game. Who are they ducking for? Who are they ducking for? They were ducking. We're not going to talk about the ducking right now until we go down to the predictions. So now I'm gonna say who they're ducking. Actually, they were ducking the Los Angeles Lakers in my eyes. They didn't want to play the Los Angeles Lakers at the eighth spot, but they still might find a way to play the Lakers if the Lakers win their game tomorrow. 57 wins. They have 57 wins with the MVP candidate, Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray, that's my guy as well. You know, he's a baller. Michael Porter Jr. Hey, Michael Porter Jr. has been huge for the Nuggets this year. I feel like every time I watch the Nuggets, he doesn't miss. Crazy thing that Michael Porter was a number one recruit out of high school, and that back injury messed him up, man. He flew all the way down to the 14th pick in 2018. Nuggets got to steal. Nuggets got to steal. That's crazy. Nuggets really got to steal. And Gordon's been a huge piece with them. Him and Joker down low. Aaron Gordon's always at the dunker spot. Joker always finds him with a lob or a pass, bro. That duo is a nice duo, underrated duo, honestly, but they're not a duo really. But their play together is amazing. KCP, huge defender, 3-and-D guy. He'll make baskets here and there, make clutch shots. And their bench, they got a couple young guys. They got Christian Braun off the bench, Peyton Watson off the bench. Some young guys that like to bump. You know, they get muddy down there. Third seed. Let's talk about the third seed. Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves, interesting team. Interesting team. They're in the play-in last year, I believe. They lost to the Lakers, and they're a seven seed. No, they're an eighth seed. They're an eighth seed. Lost to the Lakers, and they're beating the Thunder for the eighth seed and got it. Lost to the Nuggets in five. That was a good battle though. Cat and Rudy Gobert they didn't, I wouldn't say gave Joker a problem, but hey, it was a problem. It was something Joker never seen before. Well, actually, Joker seen it 2020 with the Lakers. The two bigs lineups, you know, throwing in two bigs at him, getting him confused. So I feel like that's like really the best way to beat Joker. Throw two bigs at him. So that might be they're playing in the playoffs if they see each other. We'll see. We'll see. Ant-Man, they got Ant-Man, rising star. Ant-Man's a rising star. He wants all the smoke. He's not ducking anything. So is Shea Gillis. I forgot to say that about my boy Shea. Not ducking any smoke. They got Jaden McDaniels. A crazy quote Anthony Edwards said, they got Kevin Durant, we got Jaden Daniels. I don't know what that means, honestly, but we're going to see in the playoffs, but I don't know what that means. If that means Jaden McDaniels going to lock up KD, I don't know. But Jaden McDaniels is a defender, so we'll see about that. And they got my boy Cat at the 4. He's been banged up. He just recently came back from the meniscus injury. Hasn't been playing 100%, but, you know, he's come back from meniscus injury. Should be well. Should be well. Should be well. Fifth, not they fifth. Their center. Their center is Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year candidate for sure. What to say about him? He's a good good blocker. I don't really got too much to say about Rudy Gobert. You know, Frenchman. But in the playoffs, I don't understand how you're gonna play Rudy Gobert. He gets cooked every playoffs because everybody knows how to beat everybody knows how to beat Rudy Gobert's team. Is just pull Gobert to the perimeter and let him get cooked, as we've seen every year. He's been getting cooked every year, so I already know. Well, if Frank Vogel does what he's supposed to do, he's gonna have whoever offense on Rudy Gobert and make sure he gets cooked on the perimeter. Fourth seed, the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers. What did y'all say? Chip City, Clip City? They started off a little rusty when they got James Harden, but during the year they got better. They started building up, and that team is nice, but they're injured prone. They're injured prone. I don't know. They keep saying they're arresting their guys, but them boys are banged up. I'm pretty sure them boys is banged up. James Harden, the point guard, he's been dealing with a foot injury. He's been dealing with a foot injury. Yep, he's been dealing with a foot injury. Hasn't played the last few games. No, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. James Harden has been playing, but they're a team that's been dealing with injuries. Of course, Russell Westbrook just came back with a finger injury, and they've been struggling without Russell Westbrook. That's crazy. Since Russell Westbrook came back, I believe they only got 2 or 3 L's. I'm lying. They got about 5 L's. Kawhi Leonard. That's the real question. Is he healthy for the playoffs? He's missed the last 9 games of the regular season. No updates about him. Game one's this week versus the Dallas Mavericks, who you probably need Kawhi to beat. Because who on well, Paul George can guard Luca. Can he? Can he not? But Kawhi's probably gonna need to guard Luca. But Paul George, we could talk about Paul George as well. Paul George, he needs a big playoffs. Him and James Harden are the key to the Clippers in the playoffs. They need a huge playoffs. They always disappear in the playoffs, mainly James Harden. I'm already knowing James Harden is not going to fail to disappoint us this playoffs. I know it's going to be a game that we be like, what the heck? What the heck, James Harden? Russell Westbrook has been huge coming off the bench this year. Way to sacrifice. Russell Westbrook is a team player. Can never hate the guy. They try to bash him all they want, but Russell Westbrook's a guy I can't hate. I love that guy. I love how he plays. And he in the playoff since he left KD has only been to the second round once with Houston. I believe, yeah, he only been to the playoffs one time in 2020 with Houston. That's pretty wild to me. That's pretty wild to me. He has had good teams with Paul George and Carmelo and OKC. They couldn't get to the second round. They lost to the Utah Jazz. So yeah, that's been pretty wild to me. Who else they got in the Clipper squad that's important? Norman Powell's probably a 6 man of the year candidate. I believe he should be a 6 man of the year candidate. PJ Tucker, the shoe god. He has every sneakers in the book. He's getting playing time all of a sudden now. I don't know if it's because injuries, but I've been seeing him in a couple rotation minutes. Bones, I don't know if Bones is going to be getting playing time a lot in the playoffs. Who else should we worry about? Who else should we worry about? All right, let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks, though. The Dallas Mavericks. Gotta love the Dallas Mavericks organization. You know, got one of the best owners in the game, and Mark Cuban, one of the goats. He does an amazing job with the Dallas Mavericks. He does an amazing job on I believe the show Shark Tank. He does an amazing job. Fifth seed. Fifth seed has been they've been amazing since the trade deadline. They traded for my boy PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. So they've been playing well. Luka Doncic's probably no, not probably. He's in the MVP conversation, averaging 33 points, the most in NBA. He won the scoring title. Luka won the scoring title, averaging 33.9 points. 30. That's been the highest since James Harden averaged 36 in 2019. Should have won MVP that year, but they gave it to Giannis. Averaged 34 points, 9 rebounds, and about 10 assists. That's dang near a triple double. That's wild. That's wild, Giannis. That is pretty. I'm not. Oh, my bad. That's wild, Luca. Kyrie Irving's been a huge addition this year. Last year they didn't really play together that much, so they missed the playoffs. But this year, they meshed pretty well. Kyrie's been amazing this year. I love Kyrie too, man. It's like when you watch him, bro, you just know you're gonna see something great about that man. I'm sick about the situation in Brooklyn, how that all played out. Try to cast him as a villain, knowing he didn't do nothing wrong his time with Brooklyn. I support everything Kyrie did at Brooklyn, and I'm still supporting him now, even though they're not. That's not a team I really watched, really. But yeah, that team's been amazing. Shout out to Derek Lively. He's been an amazing rookie this year. He just lost his mom recently. So sorry for his loss. They got Jaden Hardy, boy. Jaden Hardy from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. He's been balling. He's been balling the minutes he's been getting. Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't know if he's in a 6 man conversation, but he's probably I don't know if he should this year. Honestly, there's been a lot of 6 mans this year. There's been a lot of 6 mans this year, but I don't know if he should be in that conversation. But hey, that's a team that team is really good. Uh, I can't wait for that Clippers Mavericks series because Luca always give them boys the business. They played twice in the playoffs. Clippers won, so maybe third time's a charm for Dallas. We we'll see. We'll see. 6 seed, we got. Oh, I forgot that. Oh well, 6 seed, the 49 wins. Phoenix Suns and Dallas was 50 wins. I forgot to say. Clippers was 51 wins and Minnesota was 56. But we're talking about the Phoenix Suns right now. Phoenix Suns 49 wins. Pretty sad. Only they couldn't get 50 with the trio. Phoenix Suns has been struggling. Staying on the court. The big three barely play games. Didn't have a lot of games together, so it's pretty sad. Pretty sad how they should at least be a top 4 seed in my eyes. It feels like every team Kevin Durant's been on since he left Golden State has been an injury prone team. 2020, well, 2020, Katie didn't play with Achilles injury. 2021, Kyrie got hurt. 2021, Kyrie got hurt versus the Bucks. Then Katie Bigfoot was on the line. 2022, James Harden requested trade and then we get Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons doesn't even touch the court, I believe, that year. So we're down a starter, honestly, because James Harden was our starter. 2023, he gets traded to the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, my bad. He gets traded to the Phoenix Suns and doesn't really play them. No, he plays. No, Kevin Durant played for the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul was injured in the playoffs. DeAndre Ayton was injured in the playoffs. So it's like I feel like KD's team hasn't never been healthy when it was time to win. So this year I'm really excited because Devin Booker is healthy, Bradley Beal is healthy, and Kevin Durant's healthy. So we should see exciting things for them in the playoffs. Bradley Beal's been hooping lately. He said like he's trying to win a ring and he's been hooping the last 6 games. I believe he's averaging like 26 points, only averaging about what has he averaged this year? A down year for sure. Only averaged 18 points this year. That's a down year for a 2021. For a 2021 year, he averaged about 30. For him to average 18, he sacrificed for sure. And it was pretty wild because they didn't have a point guard. So it was times Devin Booker started off point guard, Bradley Beal started off point guard. It just really didn't fit like with their scheme, like the chemistry. They're still working on the chemistry. But I feel like those three scores, it's gonna be hard to beat them. It's really gonna be hard to beat them, man. It's really gonna be hard to beat them. So that's the top 6 seeds for both sides, and now it's time for the play-in predictions. For the play-in predictions, let's go back to the standings. Let's go back to the East first. Philadelphia versus Miami. I got Philly winning that game. Philly, like I said, Philly's on an 8 game winning streak, haven't lost since the Bees got back. So I have them winning. They recently beat the Heat, so I have them winning. Philadelphia, yeah. So I got Philadelphia winning. They got my boy Tyrese Maxey. He's been amazing this year. He's been a huge step up since James Harden left. He's been a great number 2 guy. I don't know if he's going to be the most improved because I don't know how they look at most improved. He should be a candidate in my eyes, but he's been there since 2021. I don't know how they look at most improved nowadays because they just throw anybody in there. I know Kobe White should be a candidate for sure. As let's talk about the 9 to 10 matchup. 9 to 10 matchup, the Hawks versus the Bulls. I got the Bulls winning. I just feel like I don't know. It's like I don't really care too much about that game because that game is so pointless to me. Uh, yeah, I don't really care too much about that game, honestly, to say too much. DeMar DeRozan, good player, good player. But yeah, they got Kobe White as the most improved player. I feel like they should win that game. Trey Young's gonna do his thing, averaging 27 and 10 this year. DeJounte's doing his thing, being a two-way guy. But I feel like they should win. The Bulls should win that game because they at the home as well. So we got the 7th seed, the Sixers, 8th seed matchup. Heat versus Bulls. I can't bet against Eric Spoelstra twice. I can't bet against him twice. They got that playoff pedigree, but I don't understand why they always in the play-in. But I got them. I can't bet against playoff Jimmy. I know Jimmy's gonna do his thing this playoffs, even though they might be a first round exit this year to the Boston Celtics. But I feel like they're gonna beat the Bulls. Tyler Hero's back. Tyler Hero's been out the whole season too. That's why they probably had an 8th seed. Tyler Hero's came back balling. Bam Adebayo's always up and down, but that's still my guy. Terry Rozier, I think, is injured right now. He's been injured lately. Terry Rozier's been injured. When he comes back, he should be good. They should be good for the playoff. Well, if they win, I don't know if he's playing tomorrow. I mean, on Wednesday. Honestly, don't know. Kevin Love's been huge. I mean, not really huge, but like he's still been there. Who else is on that squad? Duncan Robinson's been hooping lately. Uh, yeah, Hammy Hasquez, the rookie. He's been a good rookie. He's probably gonna be on the second team for sure. But yeah, I got the 7th and 8th seed as original Philadelphia Miami Heat. I got them advancing. Now let's go to the West side. The West side, the 7-8 matchup. We got the Pelicans that just got spanked on in the in-season tournament to the Lakers, and the last game of the season to the Lakers. To the Lakers, I feel like the Lakers are going to get that 7th seed and have to play the Nuggets. It's crazy. I've been watching TV today. They talk about should the Lakers duck? Should the Lakers duck the Nuggets at 7, lose the game to the Pelicans on purpose? Why in the world would LeBron James duck a game? Come on now. LeBron is playing to win. LeBron's not. It doesn't care who's in front of him. He's gonna want to play the Nuggets because if you duck a game and end up playing the 9 or 10, that's a one-off game. You lose that game, you're out. Why duck? Play to win. Obviously, that's what the plan's for, right? Get your opportunities. Don't duck them. So I got the Lakers beating the Pelicans by 15 plus because I already know Zion is a no-show when he plays versus the Lakers. I had to adjust the lights. Playing. So we got the Kings versus the Warriors at Sacramento. That's gonna be a good game. I feel like De'Aaron Fox does not miss. De'Aaron Fox does not miss versus the Warriors. I swear he doesn't. And him and Curry are both Curry Under Armour products. Curry signed De'Aaron Fox, so that's a little bit of a rivalry with them. I got my Golden State boys winning that game. I feel like the championship pedigree, what they got for that squad, and Draymond Green is not going out like that. So I feel like they're gonna beat the Kings. And what we got, the 8th seed Pelicans versus the Warriors. Got to win 2 games. The Warriors gonna win 2 games to make the playoffs versus the Thunder. It's like, dang. I feel like the Warriors got the championship pedigree to do it, bro. Why is my phone keeping? I feel like the Warriors got the pedigree to do it, the championship pedigree to do it. But it's like playing 2 road games, bro. It's like they could do it for sure. Curry could for sure get 30 plus both games. So I got faith in them, of course. I got them the 8th seed playing versus the OKC Thunder, and I can't wait for that series if that happens. But yo, those are my predictions. Like I said, this is a sports talk, so we're not only talking basketball. We're throwing a little soccer with it, the football, shall I say. Champions League's been amazing. Champions League's been amazing. The quarterfinals played was started last week. Soccer. If you guys don't know, soccer is a 2-leg series. So one game you can play one game on the road. If it's 2-2, you play the next game. If it's 3-2, you still play the next game. You win by points. So both points in both games matter. So for example, if you win the first game 1-2, that score carries on the next game. So you have to score more. Like you got to score more than what the other team has. So like for example, if you win 2-1 the next game, and then the next game you lose 2-0. Hold on, 2-1. It was 2-1. The next game, oh yeah, if you lose 2-1 the next game, then you win the next game 2-0. You move it on to the next round because you have more points. You will have more points calculated. We'll add it up. So last week games we had. What do we have first? Real Madrid versus Man. I don't even want to talk about that one first. That game was amazing. I don't want to talk about that game. We have Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. That game was a 2-2 game as well. That game was 2-2. That game was interesting. Arsenal came out striked early with Saka. Okay, Saka started off the game strong with a goal in about the 12th minute. Amazing goal, and then Bayern Munich strike back fast. It was a pace that I wasn't expecting. The defense made mistakes early in the first half that allowed them their first goal. Getting the last defender got beat by, and Gnarb scored to tie it up 1-1, and then their defense again got beat for Henry to allow I think Leroy Sane to get fouled in the box, and Henry Kane came up and tied the game as a penalty kick. Second half came in. Gabriel Jesus that doesn't start. That's pretty crazy to me. He doesn't start for real. He comes in, leads them, throws an assist to Leandro Tarosa. He ties up the game 2-2, and that game was 2-2 at a point. Towards the end of the game, Saka has the chance to score the game. Score. He gets he tries to say he got fouled in the box, but I feel like he drew the contact. Like he initiated the contact for him for the goalie. They collided with each other, but I felt like he dove. So I feel like that was a good no call. I feel like if he would have just went around the goalie, he could have scored and won that. But Arsenal tying that game at home, I feel like that was a big opportunity. I feel like they needed to win that game, honestly. Bayern Munich has been going back home, have nothing. They can't win their German league, so they want to win this Champions League bad. And Harry Kane wants to win. Harry Kane never won a award trophy. So it's like crazy, like how they always win the German league, but Harry Kane never played. He never. No, Harry Kane wasn't on that team last year. He comes on this year, and they won 11 straight. And when he comes, they don't win. So that's pretty crazy to me. So I know he's hungry to win the Champions League with Bayern Munich, but we'll see. We'll see how the second leg go. The second leg, I believe, is on Wednesday, 2-2 in Germany. So Arsenal Arsenal has a big game. It's crazy. Like Champions League is like the real deal. It's like people play different in Champions League, bro. Like that's intense football, bro. I love watching Champions League, and I think Arsenal is a family team. Our family loves Arsenal, so I'm still riding with Arsenal to beat Bayern Munich, to beat Harry Kane. It's crazy. Arsenal can't run away from Kane. Harry Kane's still gonna score goals on them. It doesn't matter what league he's in. They can't run away from him. But we'll see about that game. I can't wait for that game. Second game we're gonna talk about is Manchester City versus Real Madrid. That game was amazing from start to finish. That game was amazing, and it's crazy because I didn't realize both of the starting goalies were out. Because I was like, realize when Man City scored their first goal in the second minute, I was like, there's no way their goalie allowed to go. Did I realize the goalie? I did realize the goalie tore his ACL. The goalie did tear the ACL, I believe, this year. The goalie tore his ACL, I believe, earlier this year. But it's crazy how that game started. One of the Real Madrid defender. Like it's crazy though. Like the defender already had a yellow card from previous games, so if you would have got a yellow card this game, he's suspended for the next game. So what he happened? He had got a yellow card the first seconds of the game, and so he's suspended for the next game. And that's how Man City scored in the second minute off a free kick, the flukest free kick ever. Like any goalie should stop that free kick. If you guys saw the game, that free kick should have been stopped. And the way it went in is like that's an easy block. So it was 1-0 first off the bat, and then Real Madrid strikes back quick. Uh, their midfielder Camaviga, I don't know if I pronounced his name right. He scores a deep long shot outside the box. It deflected off a player and went in 1-1 in the 12th minute. And then Rodrigo scored a tip in the 14th minute. So like the first 15 minutes, it was already 3 goals in. So I'm like, dang, all right, this is gonna be a game. Mindful. I placed a bet for the score to be 2-1 and the Arsenal game to be 1-1. And like that them goals happened the first 15 minutes. I'm like, dang. I'm like, that parlay is done because they scoring in the first 15 minutes, bro. They gonna score more. I'm like, dang, all right. That parlay's gone. That parlay's gone. Next game. So it was what 2-1 the first 15 minutes. Let's check. 2-1 first 15 minutes. And then Phil Foney. He's an amazing player, bro. He's a midfield. He's a central attack midfield, bro. He's an amazing young guy, young player. I wonder how old he is. Uh, he's 23 years old from England, bro. He's amazing, bro. He came in, he didn't come in. He started the game, striked. He had a strike. He had a good strike from outside the box. I believe it was outside the box. It went in. I can't remember. It was last week. And went in to tie the game 2-2. And then they scored again off of a deep strike. It was like a bullet. A bullet hit the back of the net. It went up 3-2. And then Vinicius Jr. had an assist in the 79th minute to Valverde. It was a nice assist. Valverde volleyed the ball, went in 3-3. But I feel like that game was no defense, of course, but like it's Champions League. You expect the unexpected for real, for real. But I feel like Real Madrid defense got to step up, bro, because they allowed all that, and Haaland didn't do anything. Haaland didn't do anything. Kevin De Bruyne didn't play. So I'm saying, like, when they go back to Man City, I feel like, hey, bro, these headphones piss me off. I feel like Man City could win that game, bro, because they had less. They had less. They had less for real. Man City had less, and oh yeah, and the defender Kyle Walker didn't play, so they had less in the defensive side, and they're going back home with a 3-3. That's dang near advantage for them. So I feel like they're gonna win that game. And who else is playing? We got Barcelona and PSG and Atletico and Dortmund. Okay, so Atletico and Dortmund, it was a 2-1 game. Atletico had won that. Atletico was like in full control of that game first half. Honestly, I feel like they scored off of mistakes of Dortmund, and they scored. It was a quick minute. I think they scored in the fourth minute. It was like a mistake, but I feel like Dortmund played really well in the second half. They scored their goal in the 81st minute to be down one, and then they missed the header. It hit the crossbar. It's tied 2-2. And they're going back to Germany for that second game. So anything can happen in that game, but I'm still riding with Atletico Madrid because Antoine Griezmann is a player that I know he could come up in the big games because he's been in big games before. So I feel like him being up 2-1, he should know that he should do amazing things. So I'm still excited for that game. And so what I had Arsenal winning next round. No, the next game, second leg, versus Bayern. I had Man City beating Real Madrid in the second game, and I got Atletico beating Dortmund. Now PSG and Barcelona, that was a good game too. Rafinha from Barcelona played amazing. He played amazing. Pedro came in, assist Rafiana. Dembele scored versus the old team. At first, when I was watching the game, I said, "Dang, PSG's in control of this game as well." I was like, "Dang." And then mistake happened. Not Real Madrid, Barcelona scored 1-0. So I'm like, okay. And then Mbappe, hey, the defense of Barcelona, you got to give it up to them. They have Mbappe on locks. Mbappe couldn't do anything with them. They had a defender, I believe he was like 16 years old. He's up and coming. He played very well on Mbappe. Mbappe only had like at least 3 shots on target. I don't know if he had any. Uh, yeah, I believe he had 3 shots the whole game. So it was like, dang. But PSG came out the second half hot. They hit 2 goals within the first 5 minutes. So they were up 2-1. And then Rafael came in, like I said, Pedro assisted him with a beautiful pass. And he scored a 2-2. And then I forgot how the third goal went in, to be exact. But Barcelona lost that game. It's crazy because PSG, they always play good at home in the Champions League, but when they play on the road, they lose. So it's crazy how they won. It's crazy how this game they lost at the crib. So it's like, dang. So they have to win tomorrow. Like it's a must win for them tomorrow. Which I probably don't see them winning as well because I feel like the time's up with Mbappe and PSG. I feel like that relationship is coming to an end. I don't think the coach is really rocking with Mbappe how he used to after announcing that he wanted to leave. I feel like it's time for that situation to go. So I feel like the Final Four is going to be Premier League teams and the La Liga teams in the Final Four representing. That's crazy, I think, to say. Yeah, because it'll be Barcelona versus Atletico and Arsenal versus Man City. That's crazy. I predicted that. Maybe I don't want that to happen. That's crazy. That's really wild. Last thing I'm gonna touch on is the WNBA draft that's tonight currently on right now, and this just draft class is one of them. Like the class of 2024 for WNBA is one of them. It's like this draft class. It got Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink. Shout out Rukia Jackson from Detroit. You know she been balling. I've been watching her since high school because we graduated the same year. She played against my team twice, one in the state, my school in the state championship once, and at our school once. And I get, yeah, she beat us twice, but shout out to man. Let me get a shout out to Arbor Prep girls. They just won states this year too. So what is that? 3? We got 3 rings, but yeah, we lost to Ricky in the championship. And yeah. So who else is in that draft? Aaliyah Edwards from UConn's in this draft. Cardoza from South Carolina's in this draft. Angel Reese is in this draft. Who else? It's a good draft. It's like one of the draft classes they talk about. They compare it to the 03 NBA draft class. Who went fifth? Oh, yeah. This is a good draft class. So I'm excited for the draft class. I'm excited for the WNBA season this year. My team is whoever Rukia gets drafted on. I'm gonna rock with them. So she was projected 4th pick to the Sparks. So let's see if she goes there. If she goes there, they had the top 4 picks. The Sparks got this number 2 and number 4. So they're projected to get Cameron Brink and Rikia Jackson. So that's gonna be a tough rookie duo to come in there. And I'm excited for them. It was a great college season for the women's. The women's did not disappoint. My UConn girls did not win. I'm sick about that, but they're gonna come back because Paige Buckets is coming back. And yeah, man. Yeah. Who else is in that draft class? But yeah, that's gonna be a tough draft class. I'm excited to watch the draft tonight, and I can't wait. I can't wait. So, oh, this concludes. Well, hold on, let me give more shout outs. Let me give shout outs. So this past week, it was my mom's birthday on the 13th. So happy birthday to her. My boy Kader birthday on the 12th. So happy birthday to bro. And what's today? 14th. Is anybody's birthday today? Nah, I don't think anybody's birthday is today. But shout out to both of them. Happy birthday to both of them. And yeah, this concludes the first episode, I believe, if I forgot anything. Subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and let me know for more improvements. Let me know how I did. For the first one, probably a lot of mistakes, but yeah, we still growing. We still growing. We still growing. I'm excited for more episodes, and I'm gonna drop another episode this week. This video should be up tomorrow, and I'm gonna drop another video with the whole playoff prediction, well, the first round playoff prediction, and Champions League second leg reaction. Not reaction, but like we're gonna talk about how the game was. But yep, this is the NBA, and I'm signing out.